What's up, comic and pop culture fans? Today I'm giving you an accounting of the best comic book cover for every character. If you wouldn't mind clicking that subscribe button, I've got about 12 hours into the research on this one, and I can't even imagine how much editing is going to be. Sometimes I get these video ideas that sound so cool, and then I realize that I'm spending 10 to 20 minutes per character looking up covers to find the best one. I hope you guys enjoy the list today. The 40,000 subscriber giveaway is either the first Spider-Gwen, first Laura Kinney, or first Miles Morales. It could be you. Full disclosure, there are some characters you're just not going to see on here. If you don't see a character, chances are I probably wasn't able to find one comic cover that stood significantly ahead of others. So you guys will have to drop down some of the missing ones in the comments. I'm going to try to stay away from simply iconic covers and try to give an objective best cover for a character here. Alfred Pennyworth is going to get us started here. We are going to keep this list alphabetical. With Batman 686, it is actually the Alex Ross variant. By the way, you are going to see Alex Ross again. Amanda Waller to Suicide Squad number 10 with Jerry Bingham. Anarchy is going to go to Norm Brayfogel's entry with number 3. Surprisingly, there's a lot of really good Anarchy covers. Animal Man is going to go to the classic issue number 5. We have a Brian Boland entry, and that is a name you will see again. Annihilus, which is in Fantastic Four Annual number 6, is also his first appearance. That's a Jack Kirby classic right there. Anti-Monitor, I'm choosing Crisis on Infinite Earths number 12. That is a George Perez. Ed Hannigan's going to take over for Ant-Man on Avengers 223. With Angel, we have another Alex Ross going to Marvel's number 2. I've always loved this classic. Apocalypse goes not to X-Factor 6. I'm actually choosing issue 19, and that's a Walter Simonson right there. Somehow this part didn't make it into the video, so for Aquaman, I'm going to give it obviously to a Nick Cardy. We're going to choose issue 45, which is not only one of the best covers, but maybe a little bit of underrated. Ares is one of the entries on this list that I thought was so much better than the second best, and that is Brian Boland again. Wonder Woman Volume 2, number 82. Atrocitus, another entry where the best cover is also the first appearance. Final Crisis, Rage of the Red Lanterns, number 1, Shane Davis. Gil Kane's going to do it with Adam number 32. Azrael is a Showcase 94 issue number 10, and that's a Joe Quesada cover right there. Very simple, but very effective. Bane's going to go to 497 from Batman. That's a Kelly Jones classic right there. I wanted to do another one, but it's just so classic, I have to do it. Barry Allen is an odd one here, but we're going to give it to Ethan Van Sciver with his Rebirth number 1. It's just so clean, and his art is always so clean and tight. With Bart Allen, I'm going to go number 92, another entry that's also the first appearance, and that's Mike Waringo. Cameron Stewart is going to do it for Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, of course, with issue 35. This has now become iconic. Cassandra Cain Batgirl, I'm going to give it to Batman No Man's Land Ground Zero by Glenn Orbick. Stephanie Brown Batgirl, we're going to do Batgirl number 12. That is a Stanley Lau cover, and you're going to see Lau again. For Baron Zemo, we're going to go with Captain America 277. It's a Mike Zeck cover. It's one that I didn't know about prior to doing this list, and my God, that is a gorgeous one. We have a Dick Giordano with Detective 457 for Batman. Yes, I had to spend probably 30-40 minutes deciding a best Batman cover. I'm sticking with this one. Please don't kill me in the comments. With Batwoman, I knew what I wanted a bit faster. It's number 17, and that's going to be a J.H. Williams III. For Beast, we're actually going to go Bronze Age with Amazing Adventures 11. That's another Gil Kane. There's a lot of Gil Kane on this list. Beta Ray Bill, another entry here where 337 from Thor, it's also his first appearance. Walter Simonson. We got an Art Germ for Big Barda. You are going to see Art Germ again, and that's a Birds of Prey number 1. Billy Batson, Shazam, Captain Marvel Adventures number 4. I tried to go on a pretty early entry here. That's a C.C. Beck. Andy Kubert's going to do it for our Bishop. on an X-Men 288. I really love this cover. Bizarro goes to Superman 160, and that's an Ed McGuinness cover. There is a open opportunity for more good Bizarro covers. Black Adam, very clear, to me at least. Alex Ross, Justice Society, number 23. Very iconic image. Black Bolt number 1, another less is more, very simple. Christian Ward, issue number 1. Black Canary, Justice League of America number 6 by Adam Hughes. This has actually been made into a statue. It's so iconic. Then we have Black Cat, I chose for J. Scott Campbell, and he's got a lot of entries, but I'm going with 607. With Black Hand, we're going to go to Green Lantern 11 by Doug Mankey. Giuseppe Camuncoli is going to take it with Black Lightning for the other history of DC number 1. Black Manta gets Aquaman 42, and that's an iconic one, and that's a Nick Cardy. Remember that name. John Burns, Jungle Action 23 is our best Black Panther cover in my eyes. Black Widow, Frank Miller here. We're doing Daredevil 188. Super iconic. Caught in the spider web. Blue Beetle's going to go to Blue Beetle number 2. And that's a Lou Fine cover from back in the day. Booster Gold's going to go to Booster Gold Volume 2. At least I think it's Volume 2. Issue 32. And that is a Kevin Maguire. Kurt Swan is going to have our Brainiac cover with Action Comics 280. There are not enough good Brainiac covers. Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, Winter Kills by Rick Hoberg. Mike Diodato Jr. is going to give us probably our best Bullseye with Old Man Logan 43. Cable, New Mutants 87. It doesn't get better than that first cover appearance, Rob Liefeld. Captain America number 1. I tried to give a different entry here. I really did. Jack Kirby Classic. I tried, but I just kept coming back to this one, so Cap number 1. Captain America Sam Wilson's going to go to Captain America Sam Wilson trade paperback. It's an exclusive cover for the trade that Alex Ross did. As for John Walker's Captain America, I'm doing 354, and that is a Kieran Dwyer cover. Captain Britain, I have to do 35. It's another entry I didn't know about prior to this video, and that's a Ron Wilson. Captain Boomerang, Suicide Squad number 5, very recent entry, Bruno Redondo. Captain Cold, when I set out, I was assuming I was going to choose the Brian Boland. I'm going with Flash 193. That's a Murphy Anderson cover, and I love it. Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers here. Captain Marvel 2, that's an Ed McGuinness. Carnage, I'm choosing the Maximum Carnage video game comic book adaptation thingy. And that's a Ron Lim cover. Catwoman, I think there's one obvious answer here, so I'm going to take it. 51 by Adam Hughes. Cheetah, another very recent entry, Wonder Woman number 3 by Liam Sharp. Clayface, Detective Comics 298, Sheldon Moldoff. I tried finding a better, more obviously epic Clayface cover, and I just don't think there's enough of them. So that's definitely one. Clea, Strange number 1. That's another art germ for you right there. Mark Brooks is going to give us probably our best Cloak and Dagger with Cloak and Dagger number 1. Colossus is going to my favorite, I'm sorry, X-Men 122. That's a Dave Cockrum right there. Always loved that era look of Colossus, so I think it looks perfect. Constantine, there's not enough Constantine cover appearances, so I'm going Hellblazer 58. That's a Glenn Fabry cover right there. Cyborg, George Perez, another name you're going to see again, Tales of the New Teen Titans 1. Cyclops, X-Men Origins, Cyclops, number 1 by Adi Granov. We got another Frank Miller with Daredevil. Yes, this was another one that was really hard. I'm choosing 184, but I could hear probably 30 other entries. There's a lot of great Daredevil art out there. Damian Wayne, I have always loved, since the book came out, John Boy Myers' Teen Titans Rebirth, number 1. It's just so clean. It's a great image of Damian. Darkseid's going to go to Justice League 23.1. It's an Ivan Reyes cover. Dazzler's going to go to Bob Larkin's Dazzler number 1. Deadman, this is an obvious one. Neil Adams, Strange Adventures 207. Deadshot's going to go to Detective Comics 474 by Marshall Rogers. There's a lot of good Deadshot covers I found in my research, though. Like, a lot. Deathbird's going to go to Captain Marvel 33, the Joe Jusko Marvel Masterpieces issue. Deathstroke's going to go to Volume 3, which I think is the New 52 volume, issue number 1. That's a Tony Daniels. We got a Mike Zeck giving us the best Deathlock cover I've ever seen. It's a Captain America issue number 286. Demon, first appearance of Etrigan the Demon. We got another Jack Kirby here, and it's another issue number 1. It's another tied with first appearance. Dick Grayson as Nightwing. I'm going to do Rebirth number 1. It's easy to forget, but this Javi Fernandez cover was so popular when it dropped. This is an iconic Nightwing image. Doesn't get much better than that. Dr. Doom. Oh, I chose a really controversial one here. Carlos Garzon with the Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars coloring book. I have known about this. I have always thought this was absolute gold, and I'm throwing it out there as my entry of the best Dr. Doom cover. You guys are going to kill me in the comments on that one. Doc Ock is going to go to Ramita. Ramita Sr.'s got a lot of entries here, guys. ASM 56, although there's a few right around that in the 50s that are like equally as good. Doctor Strange is going to go to Frank Brunner. It's issue number 4, and I'm pretty sure this is the best by a landslide in my eyes. Donna Troy, we got a Nick Cardy with Teen Titans 23. Doomsday is going to be, obviously, Man of Steel 18. That's a John Bogdanov. Dust. Going to be also the first appearance, New X-Men 133. That's a Frank Quietly cover. Delato's going to give us probably our best looking cover of Electro. It is the variant of Amazing Spider-Man 683, I believe. Electro's going to go to Electro number 3. That's a Greg Horn copy. Watch out, there is a recalled edition of that. That's worth a lot. Emma Frost. We got another Art Germ, Sins of Sinister number 1. This thing is too gorgeous to not be number 1, man. Enchantress. We got an Alex Ross, Immortal Thor number 9. I love this cover. Didn't know about it before I was doing the research. Phantom X is going to go to Phantom X number 2. I love the artistic style from Francesco Francavilla. Joe Brzezowski is going to give us our best Firestorm cover. Very underrated. Firestorm 57. Firestar, X-Men Annual number 1 from 2022. That is a Stephanie Hans cover. Flashpoint Batman, which is going to go to the Tom King run, issue 22. That's a Jason Fabok cover. So gorgeous. Galactus. I'm going the easy route. We're going to do FF number 51, Jack Kirby. Frankly, there's other FF issues and even one random Doctor Strange Galactus cover that I like more, but I feel like you guys would just kill me too much if I'd said it was anything other than 51, so there you go. Gambit, also to the first appearance, 266. That's Andy Kubert there. Doesn't get much better than that. Gil Kane again is going to be our best looking cover for a Ghost Rider number 1. I like it a bit more than the Marvel Spotlight one. Gladiator, War of Kings, Warriors number 1. That's a Paul Renaud cover. Green Goblin by John Romita, ASM Annual number 9. Pretty sharp-looking Green Goblin cover, I might say. Gorilla Grodd has one cover that's really underrated. You probably haven't seen it. Flash 45 by Greg LaRocque. Green Arrow, there's a lot of good ones. I'm going to go with number 17 by Andrea Sorrentino. Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. Has to go to 49. Daryl Banks, iconic cover, of course. John Stewart, I'm also going to go to a different issue, 49, and I'm pretty sure it's a 1 in 25, Rodolfo Migliari. Kyle Rayner is going to go to Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern Corps 17. That's an Ethan Van Sciver. And our best Guy Gardner is his first appearance, Green Lantern 59, Gil Kane. God, first appearance covers don't get much better looking than that. Harley Quinn, Mad Love, number 1, Bruce Timm, Harvey Bullock, Gotham Central 22, Michael Lark. Dan Jurgens gave us our best Hank Henshaw in Superman 82. Havoc goes to 58, that's a Neil Adams. Hawk Girl, Justice League of America 72, that's a Joe Kubert. Hawkman 26, Dick Dillon. Hawk and Dove, number 5. I like this Avenging of Hawk cover. That's another Gil Kane. You're seeing a lot of Gil Kane here. Hawkeye, I'm giving it to West Coast Avengers number 1. Bob Hall cover. Heatwave, character I probably wouldn't have mentioned, but this one cover's so good I had to throw it in here. Flash 772 from Brandon Peterson. We've also got Hela. That's obviously going to go to Kirby's Thor 150. Hellboy goes to Mignola's Hellboy in Hell. Number 1, it's a variant. Hercules, I'm going to give to Champions number 1. That's a Gil Kane. Gil Kane, man. Howard the Duck, I'm going to give it to Gene Colan's Howard the Duck, number 8. Hugo Strange goes to Gotham Knights. Number 9, Brian Boland. You're going to see him again. Steranko has the best looking cover for a Hulk issue, and it's annual number 1. Iceman goes to Marauders 13. That's an Alex Ross. Iron Fist number 8. That's a John Byrne right there. Iron Man, I'm going to give to Bob Layton's 128. It's a shame that his best cover is him absolutely coked out, but it is what it is. Then we have Iron Patriot. I'm going to give it to, ironically, War Machine. Gabriel Gecko's War Machine #1. Invincible. I actually don't like the cover of Invincible #1 at all. I'm giving it to Ryan Ottley's issue 70. Invisible Woman. Invisible Woman #1. Adam Hughes, another great Adam Hughes cover. Jane Foster's going to go to 2014's Russell Dauterman's #1 Thor. Jay Garrick Flash goes to Carmine Infantino's Flash Comics 103. Jean Grey, Dave Cockrum's X-Men 101, of course. Jimmy Olsen, Kurt Swan, this is considered a classic cover, issue 53. Joker, Killing Joke, Brian Boland back at it again. Jubilee, X-Men 318 by Joe Madureira. Weird to choose an issue in which she's quitting the team and going off and starting Generation X, but it's such a Jubilee-looking cover. Looks good. Juggernaut, Thor, 411, Ron Friends. Kang, this was a little harder. Ron Wilson, Avengers 129. There's a lot of good Kang covers out there. Kazar goes to #4, another Frank Brunner, known often for his Doctor Strange work. He also did great art for Kazar. Killer Croc goes to Batman 512. It's a Mike Manley cover. I love him in the sewers like that. Kilowog is going to go to a 1 in 25 variant by Felipe Massafera, Emerald Warriors #4. Kingpin. This one was a little tough. I chose for ASM 69, and it's a John Romita Sr. Kitty Pryde, X-Men 168. It's a Paul Smith cover. It's also the first appearance of Madeline Pryor. Ryan Stegman's going to give us our best cover of Knoll, which is the third printing of Venom 3, which is also his first appearance. Craven, I'm going to give it to Amazing Spider-Man 293, another Mike Zeck. You knew this would be it. Crypto's going to go to 680 from Superman. Alex Ross, once again. Alina Urasov is going to give us our best Lady Shiva cover by a landslide. It's Birds of Prey #6. Wow. The Leader, Hulk 115, classic Herb Trimp. Glenn Orbix going to give us maybe our best Lex Luthor with Superman Lex 2000 #1. Lizard's going to go to Todd McFarlane's Amazing Spider-Man 313. We've got a Simon Bisley doing Lobo. That only makes sense for a Lobo #1. Loki, I chose Thor 147. Slightly better than some of his other covers. Jack Kirby. Luke Cage, obviously Hero for Hire #1. That is a John Romita, and it does not get better than that. Magneto, X-Men #1, Jim Lee, it could only be, man. Mad Hatter, Gotham Central 20, Michael Lark. Kyle Hotz is going to give us our best Man-Bat, and it's a very recent entry. Frank Brunner's going to do it for Man-Thing on Giant Size Man-Thing #4. Martian Manhunter goes to Justice League of America 230. Chuck Patton, this is not a key, but the colors and everything pops so much that whenever I see it, I think it has to be something, and it's not. It's just gorgeous. Mary Jane, I'm going to go Scott Campbell here. ASM 601. Mephisto, we got another first appearance. Silver Surfer #3. Jack Kirby. Metallo, I bet you haven't seen this one. We got a Jose Luis Garcia Lopez with 316 of Superman. Really cool cover. Era is going to go to another Nick Cardy, Aquaman 37. Midnighter from ACO, Midnighter #1. Miles Morales, Ultimate Comics Spider-Man #1. Kari Andrews. MODOK, Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty, #11, Alex Ross, I have to. Mojo goes to X-Men Black. Mojo, #1. It's another J. Scott Campbell. Ironically, J. Scott Campbell is known for drawing pretty girls. Mojo ain't that. Mongol, this is a super recent Daniel Sampere cover from Action Comics 1040. I wasn't even reading Action Comics, and I picked this up from my local shop when it came out because of the cover. Monica Rambeau, I'm going to give it to Captain Marvel Volume 2, #1. That's a Mark Bright. Moon Knight #8 is going to be our best Moon Knight in my eyes, and I have to prepare for the pronunciation of this. Bill Sienkiewicz? People have told me how to pronounce this a million times. I never get it right. Morbius, #1 by Ryan Brown. It's a very recent entry, but it sticks with me, so I'm giving it to that one. Mr. Freeze gets the Bruce Timm treatment with the Batman Holiday Special. Mr. Sinister from Mark Silvestri. It's issue 239. It's the cover that everyone wishes was his first appearance. Mr. Terrific goes to another Alex Ross with JSA 76. Mysterio goes to another Romita Sr. with ASM 66. Mystique number 1 by Joseph Lisner. Mixyez Spitalik is going to go to Action Comics number 8 by Wayne Boring. This is actually his first cover appearance. I love it with the city backdrop. It looks really good. I actually had this book and sold it, and that was dumb. Namor. I'm going with Submariner number 1 on this. It's Buscema. Nick Fury. You can either go a couple options. It was either 4 or 6. I'm going with 6 from Jim Steranko. Nightcrawler number 1. That's a Dave Cockrum. North Star is going to go to Marvel Fanfare 28. You may not remember that cover, but it looks great for North Star. Ken Steacy. Nova. Issue 25 looks real good to me. The final issue from Keith Pollard. Ocean Master, Year of the Villain, number 1. Francesco Mattina. God, that looks good. Odin is going to go to Thor 294. It's actually a decent cover of Thor as well. That is a Keith Pollard. Omega Red. I chose an odd one here. This is a Paul Smith X-Men Adventures Season 2, issue number 4. I thought it was a pinch cleaner than some of the Jim Lee Omega Red covers, and I thought it edged it out enough to give that one the spotlight. Peacemaker is going to go to Checkmate 23 by Steve Irwin. Penguin's going to go to Batman 190. We got a Carmine Infantino. Phantom Stranger is going to go to Phantom Stranger number 10, Neil Adams. But honestly, every issue in that run looks amazing. That was really hard. I spent a lot of time on that. Plastic Man was another tricky one. I tried to avoid doing another Alex Ross, so I chose issue 15 from the Golden Age from Gil Fox. Polaris is easily Steranko's number 50. By the way, I don't know why I thought that was a Jack Kirby. That's a Steranko. Looks great. I swear, Power Girl has a new best cover every year. People are constantly raising the bar, and right now I think Will Jack has the prettiest, cutest, sexiest Power Girl cover out there with an Action Comics 1053. Psycho Pirate's going to be Brian Boland again. Animal Man 24. Psylocke is going to be X-Men 510. We got another J. Scott Campbell. Punchline's going to go to issue 92. It's an Artgerm variant. Punisher. I know this is a boring entry, but we have to give it to 129. It's a Gil Kane cover. I know there's so many great Punisher covers, but I feel like that's the best one. I'm sorry. I know it's boring. Question goes to question number 1. Oh no, here we go again. Bill Sienkiewicz? I don't know. Ra's al Ghul very easily gets 244, Neil Adams classic. Raven's going to go to George Perez in Tales of New Teen Titans number 2. Red Hulk, Ed McGuinness, Hulk number 1. Red Skull, Captain America's Comics 74. That's a Martin Nodell cover, and Red Skull's creepy on this one, man. Rhino goes to Ramita's ASM 41, obviously. Riddler goes to Gotham Adventures 57. Have you guys seen this Bob Smith cover before? Rogue is going to go to X-Men 24 by Andy Kubert. This is so classic. Sabretooth goes to Wolverine 55 by Greg Land. It is a shame that his best looking cover, in my eyes at least, is him being decapitated as an homage to a classic horror cover, but what are you going to do? Then we have Sandman goes to Red Goblin number 3. It's an Alex Ross timeless cover. Scarecrow, Batman 296, I think is the best, and that is a Sal Amendola cover. Scarface from Scarface and Ventriloquist goes to Shadow of the Bat 60. It's a Tom Taggart cover, and it's really creative, so I threw it on there. Scorpion, Spectacular Spider-Man 215, that's a Sal Buscema. David Finch is going to give us probably our best looking cover of Century. Certainly helps that he's punching Hulk in World War Hulk 5. Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu 71. I always thought this looked great, and it makes sense. It's a Mike Zeck cover. John Byrne's going to give us probably our best She-Hulk. It's issue number 40. Silver Banshee from Gilliam March. There is one Silver Banshee cover that has no business being as great as it is. It's actually even a variant. Superman Unchained number 4. Looks great. Silver Surfer is going to go to Jack Kirby's Fantastic Four number 72. Simon Baz, Green Lantern Zero by Doug Mankey. That's the one with him with the gun. Sinestro, I chose the Green Lantern Sinestro Corps Special by Ethan Van Sciver. It's a very iconic cover, and he kind of looks a little bit Hitler-inspired, which, if you know Sinestro, is a bit of a match. Solomon Grundy does not get better than Paul Reinman's All-American Comics 61. Fun fact, this is my favorite Golden Age cover of all time. Granted, that list can change, but it hasn't in years. Spawn, I genuinely believe that issue 100, the Alex Ross variant, is the actual best there is. Spectre goes to 8 for Nick Cardy. That was another tough one. Choosing that 9 or number, I think 5 was tricky. Spider-Gwen goes to number 2, which is also the first appearance of Spider-Gwen by Greg Land. We got another Ramita here, Spider-Man. This one was so tough, I ended up just having to choose my favorite cover, and that was Spider-Man number 50. Spider-Woman's going to go to 39. Very artistic from Steve Lealoha. One of the earliest negative space use covers I've ever seen. Looks great. Starro, Justice League 190, Brian Ballland. George Perez with Starfire is going to give us the best with a Teen Titans number 4. Storm, probably 290, I would say, by Wilchi Portacio. Strong Guy goes to X-Men 278. That's a Paul Smith cover. Supergirl, I'm choosing the classic Adam Hughes. It's a very rare book. Legion of Superheroes 23. It's a variant. Superman goes to Neil Adams, number 233. Of course, that was going to be the one, right? Super Skrull goes to Annihilation. Super Skrull number 1. It's a Del Auto. Looks pretty good, man. Swamp Thing, this was tough. Swamp Thing number 9, I think. Bernie Wrightson. Taskmaster goes to Avengers 196. That is a George Perez cover, and it's the first appearance. Thanos, I'm giving it to Infinity Gauntlet number 1, I think. That's another George Perez, back to back. Look at that. The Thing, I'm choosing Buscema's Fantastic Four 112. Thor, Silver Surfer. It's funny that it's a Silver Surfer title book. That is the best cover of Thor. It's another Buscema. Two-Face goes to Neil Adams. Batman 234. Ultron, which is also the first cover appearance of Ultron. I had to give it to Avengers 67. That's another Sal Buscema. Enrique Torres is going to give us what I think is the best Vampirella. It's issue number 30. Venom, this was probably the hardest one on the entire list. I did all these ones. I had all these entries. I rewrote it. I ended up coming back to the basics with Todd McFarlane's 316. Victor Zsasz goes to Batman 493. Kelly Jones, probably one of his best covers ever, too. We have Vigilante with Vigilante Annual 2. Brian Boland, you know it, man.
Vision's gonna make it real easy for us. We're sticking with his first appearance, 57. Doesn't get better. Thank you, Buscema.
Dixon's going to go to the Justice League of America number 4, variant by J.G. Jones. And amazingly, even though this is alphabetical, I have another J.G. Jones entry immediately under that with Wasp. Avengers 71. Best looking Wasp cover I could find. Wolverine, and I will die on this hill. I think Lionel Francis Yu gave us the best Wolverine cover I've ever seen. It's issue 145. I love this book. Wonder Man goes to Bill Sienkiewicz. Sienkiewicz. Damn it, man. Wonder Man number 1. Wonder Woman is going to go to 72. Brian Boland. X23, it's a 1 in 25. It's kind of got a nice price tag, too. A Del Auto. Zatanna is easily going to Adam Hughes, number 15. Professor Zoom goes to Flash 197. That is a Scott Collins right there. Adam Warlock, or Warlock, is going to go to Strange Tales 178. That's a Jim Starlin cover. The Watcher is going to be Original Sin number 0, which is a Jim Chung. And I'll end the list with Walking Dead. I chose 108 by Charlie Adlard. I was thinking about maybe 100 with Rick over all the bodies, but I think this Ezekiel cover is just too clean and too iconic. What did I miss? I know there's a ton of it. I gotta go because I gotta get 250 pictures uploaded to this video. I will see you hopefully tomorrow.
Make sure to come on down to Sentiment Depot's Antiques and Collectibles, located at 238 West Delaware Ave in Pennington, New Jersey. Find so many great books for just $1 and the lowest prices on key comics around. Enjoy a huge selection of graded comics priced up to 20% lower than current fair market value. We are open from Wednesday to Sunday, closed Monday, Tuesday. You got a collection you want to sell? Bring that too. Can't wait to see you there.